like, hit that subscribe. We got some Phillies spring training talk for you. Let's go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Rant Booth, only on HUD Radio. We are brought to you by 47 Brand, and you can go to 47brand.com to buy all your Phillies, Yankees apparel. You can also get all your 47 Brand apparel down at Ocean City, at All Campus. That's John Coyle, All Campus, Tom Arnone, HUD Radio. Everybody out there, welcome in. We are live from Clearwater, Philly spring training talk. I mean, look at our location. They got the ballpark right behind us. It's baseball season. Let's go, baby. Giddy up. We'll have fan questions live from spring training at the end of the show. Bryce Harper's timeline, he talked about it the other day. Yeah. We'll go over his timeline. We'll go over Andrew Painter's timeline. We sort of got some information on Andrew Painter as well. Well, 5 bold player predictions for the 2023 season when it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies. And our main topic at hand, 2023 Phillies season predictions. Ties in our poll question brought to you by Baggio's Bread. They're located right in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. They're the home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. You mentioned HUD Radio, you get 10% off your order. Our poll question for today's show, the simple one, the Phillies will win the NL East. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow, join the conversation today, comment, and let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're by Clearwater and you're by the Phillies Stadium, come on down, say hello to us. We'll even give you the mic for a minute. Maybe give you the mic for a minute. We'll see how we go. To our poll question. It's always tough this time of year to decipher if they're going to win. It's such a long season. It's a marathon of a season. But, you put the hypothetical gun to my head, I'm going to agree. I think they're poised to. They're poised to be able to tread water and be good enough until Harper gets back. The big question mark is going to be the pitching. A lot of innings last year, a lot more innings than a lot of guys have seen. Ranger Suarez called back from the World Baseball Classic already. Wheels, Nola, did it go 6-man rotation? I think that will help them. All that we can discuss in a little bit, but I'm going to agree. I think they're built for it. Their lineup's built for it. Their bullpen's built for it. Yes. I mean, Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton have been all in. Nobody's been harder on John Middleton than myself about being halfway in, and I think he got a little taste of last year. And when you get a little taste, you want more, you want more, you spend more, and here we are. So I agree, John. What do you say to the poll?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't think there's anything that stops this team from winning the division. My harder question is, do we get 100 games? Do we win 100 games? I actually think we do. I think we get 100 games. I'm a little worried about the back end of our starting rotation. The 4 or 5, Ken Rangers keep going at the pace he was. He was a bullpen guy for 2 years. Then turned into a starter, really ate up some innings last year. Is that going to affect him? Can he go a full season healthy? Can Zach go another full season? Can he ever get to 200 innings pitched? I don't know. What's going to help is this bullpen. This bullpen. You legitimately give us 6 starting innings with a lead. We have 4 guys that could go 1 inning each and get us that W.
That's the best point.
That's going to be huge.
That's the best point because we talk about Trea Turner and we talk about the big stuff. We talk about Taiwan Walker. Right. We talk about guys like that are the bigger fishes, right, per se. Yep. And we obviously talk about Trea a lot, rightfully so. But we got to talk about a guy like Soto. You got to talk about a guy like Kimbrel. And you put them guys with 2 guys that were lights out last year, Sir Anthony and Alvarado. Now, Alvarado a little wild last night. Yeah. Maybe we got to send him to the minors for a minute, get him right. But when he
was the best reliever. Yeah, best reliever in the league.
Maybe in baseball. And with him and Soto from the left side, they're dangerous. So I think that's the best point on why, they will win the division.
And don't forget Strom, too, right? We saw him last night in the Yankees game. Lights out inning. He looked great. Don't forget about him. He can really, solidify that 5th inning spot if need be.
Yeah, it's another good name. Another one that's the low-level move that you're not going to hear a ton about. But a guy that's going to be a guy that's a veteran. He's done it before.
Throws 95 from the left side.
So with Soto, Alvarado, and him, you're talking about 3 guys that are 95 plus from the left side. That's dangerous. Yep. And you go on with a guy like Kimbrel. People always want to talk about Craig Kimbrel's not the same guy. I'm not telling you he's the same guy. What I'm telling you is if you go look at his splits in LA last year,
Right.
you're going to notice he got rocked versus one team. That was the Arizona Diamondbacks. Well, welcome to Philly, Craig, because we play the Arizona. Yep. We never play Arizona well, so Craig Kimball's a perfect fit here. But if you look at his splits and you look what he's done outside of the Arizona games, Craig Kimball still has it. He still has it. When you're not asked and thrown in and thrusted into having to be a closer, I think that's beneficial for him too.
100%. Plus, he's that prototypical veteran that lost some arm talent, but gained some, I know how to pitch now.
Yeah.
Right? I know how to throw the pitches in the certain times, hit the corners, go inside, outside, up and down. He is your prototypical crafty pitcher right now who still could throw 90 plus.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, he still
can do it. Yeah.
He still has it. But now when you're not forcing him to close baseball games for you. Can he do it? I think the versatility you have in the back end of the bullpen is you have 4 guys that have not only closed their stuff, but have all done it. And I think and the way Rob did it last year, and we saw the way Rob did it, he was more of a leverage guy. So what's our biggest leverage situation? Okay, well, I'm going to go to Sir Anthony in the 8th inning because 3, 4, 5's up. And that's a bigger leverage than 6, 7, 8. So we notice that a lot in the playoffs.
We saw a lot in the playoffs. Alvarado came in big situations, right? Even if it was the 6th inning, bases loaded, 1 out, he brought in Alvarado. He was our guy. And hey, to his credit, I know Alvarado had a bad World Series. I get that. Maybe he was a little burned out. Whatever.
Come on, man. One guy hit a bomb off him. Let's keep it fair to him too. I mean, that guy hits bombs off everybody.
He did get us there. That was my point. Yeah. Alvarado got us to that situation. Every big 6th, 7th, 8th inning situation, Alvarado was called upon.
Yeah, this isn't Mitch Williams, right? No. This isn't a guy who, and I love Mitch, right? But this isn't a guy who gave up a walk-off granny in a World Series
and then collapsed.
And wasn't the same. Like I think what you learn and what we learned from Jose last year is he's a guy that will put his tail between his legs for a minute. He'll go down to the minors and he'll get it right. Right? There was no moping. There was no woe is me. Just go down there, fix your mechanics, get back in the strike zone. Because when you throw that hard, if you live in the zone,
all you got to do is hit the plate. All you got to do is hit the plate. Yep.
So, I mean, I'm excited. Now, like we talked about the bullpen and obviously this lineup, right? And this lineup is filthy.
Wow.
Even without Harper here, right?
Yeah.
And even without Bryce. So, I mean, is this lineup without Bryce right now? Is this lineup better than the lineup with Bryce last year?
Easily. And I'm going to give you one name that I am really, really high on. I think a lot of Philadelphia fans are high on. Derek Hall. I mean, I think the guy hits 40 home runs this year. Right?
You think he hits 40?
I think he hits 40 home runs this year. I really do. Maybe he bats 220, right? A little Schwarber season. But I think he can hit 40. And the problem is going to be is when Harper comes back, you need to find a spot for this kid if he's really doing that, right? And you're not going to have one.
Yes and no, right? Yes and no, because, a good left-handed bat off the bench is never a bad thing.
Correct. I want to see that kid get his at-bats, though, if he's really on the pace that I think he's going to be. I mean, he's my future bet to lead the league in home runs. I know it's a long shot, but I don't think it's unfetched. I think it can be done.
So what we just learned is according to John, John's prediction of Derek Hall is pretty much Ryan Howard.
Not Ryan Howard. Come on now, not Ryan Howard. But I think he could do a Schwarber year, right? Schwarber led the league last year.
You want to start at 30? You want to start him with?
No. This kid has it. I mean, we watched the game Friday. I went to the game Friday. Dude hit 2 home runs, and he was off his back foot, leaning forward, just flipping the bat, and they went. I mean, he has the power. If this kid gets at bats, I think he could really produce in this league.
No, he does have the power. Where does he play right now?
That's the question.
I don't know. Does he even make your opening day roster? I don't know.
100%. He's your DH going in, right? Because Harper's out. Right? Harper's not going to make opening day.
No. I'm just trying to think.
So he's your DH.
With it.
He's your DH.
Probably.
Yeah, 100%.
I would like for them, especially with JT at the World Baseball Classic right now, catching another ton of games, right? Like, I need to find a way. And I know JT doesn't want to hear. JT, if you're in there, you got to listen to me a little bit. Like, get off your legs a little bit. Like, we got to DH JT Realmuto a little bit more this season.
Move him to first,
I love it.
Something like that.
I love it that he wants to catch every single game. And I love that about a player like that. And that's a winning guy. That's a guy you want in your clubhouse, a guy who wants to throw the gear on every day and twice on a doubleheader and get back there and help his pitching staff out. But what we noticed last year is Garrett Stubbs is good behind the plate.
He is.
He's serviceable. I need JT Realmuto to DH twice a week. to start the season. I need him
Okay.
DHing twice a week.
Okay.
5 days behind the plate's enough for him right now because I need the best JT Realmuto. And as you saw when the postseason got here, not July and August, that's when he caught. That's when he got red hot.
Right.
But when the postseason got here, he got tired, man, and rightfully so.
Everyone did, yeah. Especially the World Series. You could tell the season wore on a lot of our players, a lot of our guys, and JT is definitely one of them. I mean, every single year he leads the league in innings caught. Every single year he does. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get him a little bit
A breather.
Yeah, a little bit of time off. Yep.
Because when Harper comes back, you're not going to be able
You're not going to
have that luxury anymore.
Because Harper's got to be in the lineup.
And he's going to DH. And if I'm a betting man, he doesn't play right field this year.
There's no way.
Nor should he.
There's no way.
I mean, it's a full or half a season in terms of Bryce Harper DHing.
Right.
And before that, that's where you got to use those 81, 80 games, however many games it's going to be without Harper. You have to be smart about who you're getting off their feet a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, Schwartz, I got to get Schwartz out of left field a little bit too. I got to bring him down. I got to DH him once a week. Like, I got to use that DH spot. So to your point about Derek Hall, and what I'm getting at is 3 times a week he's your DH.
Right.
The other 4 days a week, he comes off your bench. He's a pinch hitter. Maybe his spot starts Reese for a game against a tough righty, right? And there are ways you can be flexible with it and make it work for all parties involved. But you have to get JT off his feet a little bit, and you have to get Schwarber off their feet a little bit, right? So if I get JT out from behind the plate twice a week, I get Schwarber out of left twice a week. Well, there it is. There's 4.
That's huge.
Now I got 3 days left for a guy like Derek Hall to get him enough at bats. So there's no point to sending him down, right?
He can stay hot too. Yeah, right.
And then you go off of that too. What you just said, like if the guy's hot as a pistol, obviously I'm not gonna take him out of the lineup at all. So that's also a feel thing that I thought Robbie Thompson, if you're listening, Robbie, I thought you did a tremendous job last year.
Amazing job
Off of field. We talk about the analytics. We talk about these guys getting stuck in the binders and the notebooks, like guys who spit out ice cream like Gabe Kapler. We talk about guys like that. Rob Thompson's a baseball guy, and you saw it last year. Besides, my only gripe with Rob Thompson last year was Wheeler doesn't come out of that game.
Okay.
But because that's my horse. That's who got me there. I know you can go and play devil's advocate after the fact and Monday morning quarterback.
And I would. I thought it was a good move taking him out, but it ended up being wrong.
And guess what? Alvarado gets the out there.
Correct.
Then he looks like a genius.
Yep.
So this is a total Monday morning quarterback.
Which he had all year long.
Which he did. So we'll keep it moving. I see a ton of comments coming in. We appreciate all of you. We love you. Keep pounding the like, hitting the subscribe. Stay with us. Join us. We're live from Clearwater. We're brought to you by the 47 brand, and you can get all your apparel, Phillies, Yankees, any team you like. 47brand.com is where you can find them. And all campus down in Ocean City. And the doors are going to be opening ASAP.
We're going to be opening up next weekend. We got big news coming. We're going to unveil a couple things later on in the show here.
Look at this guy. You guys got breaking news for you. And you go down to all campus. Remember, you mentioned HUD Radio. You show you're a subscriber. You show you're a follower, right? You get 10% off.
We take care of you.
That's been going on for 2 years now, all right? That's how we give back to you. All we got is promo codes. Promo codes for days. As long as JT is in the lineup. Yeah, Brian, I don't think JT would ever not be in the lineup, right? Like, that's where you had the luxury to DH early on in the season. Jake Field says, enjoy the weather down there, boys. It's 37 degrees in Philly.
This is the best atmosphere for spring training. We're here right in front of the stadium in the shade. The guys couldn't be nicer helping us set up and letting us set up out here. It's been a pleasure being here.
Well, Nate, if you can find out, Nate, what those odds are, I don't even know those odds are even out for Derek Hall, but if you can find those odds out, Johnny's going to sprinkle.
I'm going to win a little.
Sprinkle.
I'm going to win a little.
He's sprinkling. Sean, we're going to get into ball predictions here in a couple minutes, but he says Alec will be my sneak pick for MVP. I would love to tell you you're ballsy. I would love to tell you you're ballsy, but Sean, you're not, and I'll tell you why.
Oh.
We learned one thing about Alec last year. First off, Alec's hit at every level.
Yeah.
Period. He's a pure hitter. He's always been a pure hitter. That's something we knew was going to translate as soon as Alec got to the big show that he's going to swing it. That's never going to be a problem. But what we saw last year, early on in the year, is he had his little issue, right? He had his throwing game. I think it was against the Mets.
Yeah.
Right? He was getting booed.
3 hours in a row.
Yeah, he was getting booed. He was dealing with it from the fans. All right. And he said, I hate this place.
Yeah.
Right. And we all saw it. And guess what? A lot of guys are going to be cowards in that situation. A lot of guys are going to give you the generic response.
It wasn't me. I didn't say that.
I didn't say it. You read
took
my
it out
lips
context.
Yep.
Yeah.
All those things. What did he say? He owned up to it. He was a man about it. Well, that's a guy right there that can play in this city. And all he did from that day on was get red hot, play way better defense. And I talk about my players all the time. You know, the guys I coach, it's about a response. It's about the next play. How do you respond to a game that you are set up to fail in? Baseball is a sport. I am set up to fail. Yeah. How do you respond to the failure? We don't accept failure. We understand it's a part of it. He did it last year. And that's my point to Sean is if there's a guy that could have a breakout year, I think it's him.
And to that, don't forget how the fans responded to him, right? Let's give it up to the fans who said, hey, this guy did do bad. We hated it. We let our emotions let him know that we hated it. We got through it, and then we were right behind him again. Right?
We were.
Right behind him again, and now he's a loved player in the city.
Because after he gave those quotes in the post-game presser,
you rally right around him.
They give him a standing ovation up the plate for his first at bat. So I think that's something that absolutely can happen. You know,
for the worst fan base in the league that everyone says.
Yeah, I love that. So, okay, you have us winning the NL East.
Yeah.
Okay, I have us winning the NL East. Who's second in the NL East?
I think it's going to be a toss-up. I do think both teams, the Braves and the Mets, make the playoffs. All right, I think they're both there. If the pitching stays healthy for the Mets, it's got to be them, right? They're going to be right on our heels, nipping at us the whole season if they stay healthy. I just can't bet or I can't think that starting staff is going to stay healthy the whole way.
For the Mets?
Yeah, I just feel like they got to burn out at some point. And like we were talking about the other day, the Mets are going to do Mets things.
Yeah, they always
do. And they always do.
You know, but let's be real with it.
Yeah.
Okay, they got a loaded roster. They got an owner that's all in. You tip your cap to owners that are all in sports.
And they might not be done.
I love it.
Trade deadline.
That being said, they're not as good as the Braves.
No.
And the Braves are quiet. The Braves quietly go through it every year. And nobody talks enough about them. Their pitching staff is under the radar.
Yeah.
Their pitching staff isn't talked about. Their lineup's loaded. So to me, I think the Braves are the second best team in the NL. I think the great New York Mets take a step back this year, and I think that little collapse at the end of the year carries over.
Are they a playoff team?
They're what we were last year. They make one of the wild card spots. I think you get 3 teams from our division. So I would love, I think the Marlins are improved.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Nationals are a dumpster fire.
And the Nationals stink. So, we know about them. So we're going to do 5 bold player predictions for the 2023 season.
I gave one.
John already gave one, and that's Derek Hall. I don't want to go on a home run tear here, but I think Aaron Nola wins the Cy Young this year.
I'm a huge Aaron Nola fan.
I just went there.
I'm a huge Aaron Nola fan. The dude just eats up innings. Quality start after quality start after quality start. He is a top 4 pitcher in this league, and we want to rip him because his win-loss record's never what it needs to be. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. He is a top 4 pitcher in this league, and I love that prediction.
Well, because I think out of all the guys in our staff, right, guys, and everybody out there listening, Aaron Nola is the most durable. It's been proven. You can say whatever you want to say about Aaron Nola. Every year, every 5th day, Aaron Nola takes the ball. He doesn't miss time. Knock on some wood. Where's the tree at? Right?
Pencil him in for 200 every year.
That's what he does. So Aaron Nola is durable, right? He's been in that conversation in the top 5 young, conversation throughout years past, right?
Yep.
Now, when you should get the run support, you should show on the win-loss side. So he's my bold prediction that Aaron Nola wins the NL Cy Young this year.
I love it.
You had Derek Hall.
Yeah.
Derek Hall.
I got one more for you.
Shoot it.
I think Sir Anthony, it does solidify that closer role, and I think he leads the league in saves.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
I think he leads the league in saves. I think he is that guy. He was predicted to be that guy 4 years ago when he was the best youngest 25-year-old and under in Philadelphia. This is the year where he really puts his stamp on it. This is the year that he locks down everything and shows what his potential really was.
Oh, that's great. So, I mean, you're right there. And I love Sir Anthony for years. Sir Anthony is the guy that I wanted up for a while.
Yeah.
They finally did it. He's proven he's got swing and miss stuff.
Yes,
so, at this level, it's not like AAU baseball, baby. You need to have some swing and miss stuff. Sir Anthony Dominguez absolutely has swing and miss stuff. I love that bold prediction from you. And I don't even know we're even getting that bold right now, but we're gonna have trouble finding a loss soon. We're gonna be talking 162-0 by the time we're leaving here. Right? By the time we leave Florida, the Phillies will be 162-0.
Yep.
By the time we're leaving, it's like the Eagles schedule. You go over Eagles schedules, you start having trouble.
Over here.
We're having trouble finding losses. We're having trouble finding losses. Having trouble. All right, so you gave 2.
Yep.
Thinking of a second one. Oh man. Obviously not all these bold predictions will come true.
You want to give me the? I got one. I got really. I got. This is bold. All right. This is bold.
Bold and Derek Hall.
This is bolder. This is bolder. Scotty Kingery makes this team.
Okay.
Scotty Kingery will be our starting center fielder.
Wait, what?
Scotty Kingery will be our starting center fielder. Yes. Brandon Marsh is not. He's not the answer.
Wow.
He's not the answer.
Wow. You're talking about a big response then.
Yeah.
You're talking about Scott Kingery wins opening day center field spot.
Not opening day. By the end of the year, he'll be our guy in the playoffs.
Okay. That's a bold one. That's a different one too. I like that though.
And 600 in the spring right now. He can't miss. He looks like he's bigger. I mean, defensively, he looks great out in center field.
Well, the question comes down to, is his swing shortened up? I mean, the thing with Scott Kingery wasn't about is he talented enough. What happened is they changed it, man. He got into a little bit of a launch. I thought his swing got too long at times. Could have been prospects, but I disagree with that because I think it's Brandon Marsh's job to lose, and he's really got to be bad out there.
It's his job to lose. I think he's that bad.
I think he's got to be really bad out there, and I think he's really good defensively. Yeah. That's where I think where it's going to be a trouble for a guy like Kingery. I will say this: I do think Scott makes this roster. I do think he platoons at times.
Right.
But that's a bold one. I mean, that's bold.
Yeah.
I think my next bold prediction is I think Trea Turner wins NL MVP. I think he wins NL MVP.
Do you? I mean, I'm asking a lot right here, but do you want to rattle off some stats? Where do you think he ends up here?
Yeah, I think he bets 315.
Okay,
which I know is probably a little up for him, maybe in today's day.
With the shift being out and the middle being wide open, that's doable.
I think he steals 50 bags, right? So I mean, I'm talking about stealing 50 plus bags. I'm talking about hitting 25 plus home runs,
120
runs scored at the top of the lineup. I mean, all those things those numbers are all going to equal what we're talking about. If you can get to maybe 90 RBIs, I mean, it's tough.
That's a lot, yeah.
Tough in the leadoff spots. So 85, 90 RBIs, 315 batting average, 50, 55 stolen bases, maybe even a little bit more than that. And if he can lose 30 home runs, I think he's right in that conversation.
Do you think he stays in the leadoff spot the whole year?
I think he should.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm skeptical. I saw what Schwarber did last year, and I liked it. I don't know if I would change it. I don't know what Schwarber does at the 2-hole. I don't think he is a 2-hole hitter. Either was Reese, and we had him, though. So I don't know. If I had my gut feeling, I would say Turner's going to end up being a 3-hole hitter when it's all said and done. But we're going to start him off the leadoff spot and see how it works.
Yeah, we watched it last night. I mean, Schwarber hit a 3-run homer last night in the World Baseball Classic. That wasn't in the leadoff spot. You only bat in the leadoff spot one time in a lineup.
Was he down in the 6th spot, 7th spot?
Yeah, somewhere down there. And I think, him being 2, 3, wherever they decide to put him. I mean, Trea Turner is a leadoff hitter. And the way the game is going back a little bit to old school baseball again, that guy and his versatility, his ability to steal bags is so important at the top of your lineup, right? So I don't think he leaves there. I think he stays there. And I would much rather some of Schwarber's bombs be with a guy on, two guys on, than the solo shots.
Yeah.
Now, they do say, teams that win are up 1-0, they win 70% of the games, whatever it is. Okay, I get that number, but you can get up 1-0 with a guy like Trea Turner too.
100%. He's got
enough
pop.
Second.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say you steal third, right? You steal second. You get a ground ball, guys over to third.
A little sack fly.
Boom. Yeah. You're all 1-0. You're up 1-0. So you can get up 1-0 more ways than just a solo homer. So, and I think without Harper, you need that. You need another power guy in your lineup 100%. Like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean? So yeah, I do think with Harper in the lineup, Turner stays at 1. Without him in the lineup, I personally think he's our best bat. I would like to see him at 3, but Like I said, we're going to start him off the leadoff spot. You know he's going to produce no matter where he's at in the lineup. So I'm not too worried about it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I do think Schwarber will be pitched harder batting in those major spots. That's what I'm afraid of, right? The leadoff spot, you're not going to get walked. You're going to see strikes. No one wants to walk the leadoff batter. That's like a cardinal rule in baseball. So I do think he saw better pitches, but we'll see how it works out.
True, and I know what you're saying. But also I think he's patient enough as a hitter too, to be able to handle both, right? So, I think they're leading them off. I don't know why they won it at this point. That's why you went out and got them. But we'll see how it shakes out. Throughout the year, he's obviously going to move and shake the lineup
and that's
a little bit.
Thing. If you look at Schwarber throughout his history, he never really produced anywhere else besides the leadoff spot. And I don't know if that really has anything to do with it, if it's just a mindset or whatever. But he's never really produced anywhere else outside of the leadoff spot.
Yeah, how much does it matter to him, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that. So you did 3 bold predictions. Yeah. I got 3. What's another one you got?
I mean, I don't know if it's a bold prediction, but I said it a little bit earlier when we were given who wins the East. I think this team wins 100 games. I think we got a 100-win season in us. I think it's going to be to our advantage that we don't see the Mets and Braves as much as we are used to. Right? We're going to see a little bit more of the Oakland Athletics, of those teams that are a little bit inferior to us instead of being beaten up in the East. So I think we get 100 wins.
Oh, man. All right. Nicky C.
Okay.
All right. Not the year we expected last year.
No, it was not.
Not the year that's on his resume either. Anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere that guy's been, he's hit. From Detroit, Cincinnati. Nick's never had a problem hitting.
No.
Problem is, hey, I'll give it to guys. New place. Right? You're sleeping in a new bed, which is Ben Simmons' bed.
Yeah,
right?
that could be the problem.
But it's a change, right? And when you get paid that kind of money comes expectations, comes pressure. I'm not giving a guy an out. I'm not giving him an excuse. What I will say is, defensively, he never took his at-bats into the field with him.
Correct.
I talk about my players all the time. We can't take at-bats in the field with us, right? He didn't do it. He was great defensively, even though he's not a great defender, right?
No, surprise us all.
I think my bold prediction is that he bats 290. He gets back to his numbers. His power numbers come back out. So I'm going to say he bats 290. It's 35 plus, drives in 110 plus. That's my Nicky C bold prediction. I don't even think it's bold. I think it's what he does, what he's done his whole career. And he had 1 year where he had a down year. And it's here. And it's after he signs a $100 million deal, moves, right? Listen, we sit at home and watch TV, right?
Yeah.
We think these guys are all playing MLB The Show. These are human beings, just like we are.
They got life to deal with.
If you move and you change, it's not an excuse. I need you to still hit, right?
Yeah.
I can't have you be that bad.
Yeah.
But what happened is, and what I thought it was, is Nick became a guesser, right? Nick stopped.
100%.
Nick stopped just tracking and letting his eyes work and his instincts work. And what he did is, I'm going to guess every pitch. And you can tell by his swings.
Before the pitch was even thrown.
Yeah. And some of them looked atrocious. Now, he's never been that kind of hitter. So I don't know where it came from.
Right.
And like I said, the only thing we can always point to is Ben Simmons' house.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm sure they got the sage in there, right? And
they
cleared it all out.
You brought the priest in. Yep.
Yeah, you brought the priest in. You cleared it all out. So I think he has a monster year. I think he gets back to the Nick that we know, the Nick that was in Detroit, the Nick that Dave Dombrowski knew in Detroit, and the Nick that was in Cincinnati.
The one that we gave a contract for.
Yeah, I mean, listen, his power numbers in Cincinnati, when you look at it, I mean, that ballpark's hitter-friendly. Well, guess what? This ballpark's hitter-friendly,
yes,
too.
It is.
So we expected those numbers to translate. They didn't, but in defense and helped to this whole team, his guys picked each other up. This was a tight-knit clubhouse. We saw it last year, so I think he has a monster year.
Let's
having trouble finding the loss.
162 and the reality of the things, all right? We made our bold predictions. Every single one of them was good. Do we have a bad?
I do.
Okay.
And you're not going to like it. And I don't think anybody out there is going to like it. I don't think we see a Zach Wheeler for a full season this year.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I can only go off of trends.
Right.
I can only go off of guys' histories, right? Just like I did with Nick. I went off of Nicky C's history. So right now I'm going to go off of Zach Wheeler's history. I hate saying it. The guy's a horse.
Yeah.
We need him. But listen, that's a lot of innings last year. It's the most innings ever pitched in this. Well, I guess in his career, right? I mean,
he's thrown one season of 200, and it was the year before we signed him with the Mets. Yeah, that's the only time he's ever thrown 200.
He's got a track record of missing time.
Yeah,
I think he misses a month and a half. I just hope that month and a half isn't it when we really need him.
Right.
I think he's a month and a half, 2 months. At some point, that there's something that they got to shut him down for, because you're shutting down a guy down last August. Correct. So the only way you get around this is by going to a 6-man rotation early on. Skipping starts early on. You have to, dude. These guys.
And we do have the guys that can do that, right? Yeah. You have Sanchez, you have Falter, you have some guys.
We're hoping that
Brogdon is not a bad spot starter. He could get you 3-4 innings. Like, we do have some guys that could do that.
Well, that's what you're hoping, and Andrew Painter came in. So, I don't know what these 3 to 4 weeks do for Andrew Painter. I don't know if that sets him back. Listen, I think he's got big league stuff. I think he's big league ready. Now, did they baby it more? But the way I look at it, though, if you're pitching as the 6th guy in a rotation, the bullets are the same, man. So if you're throwing pitches at AAA, what's the difference of throwing pitches at AAA and throwing pitches in the big leagues? Right. You only got so many in the chamber, so why not use those at the big league level? Now there's a 4 weeks, set him back to the point where they don't think he's going to be ready.
If I had to give a bold prediction, the opposite end, it's Painter. Right? I don't think we're going to see him in the major leagues. And to your point, if he's throwing in the minors, what's the difference? Here's the difference, right? We don't care if we win in AAA. We don't care. He's never going to see 100 pitches in a game at AAA. It's not going to happen.
But does he have to right now in a 6-man rotation in, let's just say, May? In a 6-man rotation in May, does Painter ever have to go over 50, 55? Why?
No, he doesn't. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but it's more.
Because that's bringing him along easy, though, to your point. Like, that's bringing him along slowly.
And you know this. You can't win a division in May, but you sure as hell can lose one. Right? So if you got one guy who you're saying can never go more than 4, I think you're putting your team at a disadvantage.
Okay. Well, you just said Connor Brogdon. So if Connor Brogdon
is spot start.
Well, you're going to go. We're talking 6-man rotation, not a 5-man. If it's a 5-man, it's Bradley Falter. We know that already, right? He's pitching the big leagues. He's got big league experience. They're going to give him a chance to fail. Yeah. Now, if they win 6, is what I'm saying. If they win 6, instead of going a guy like Connor Brogdon and throwing him 45 pitches,
or Sanchez,
wouldn't you rather just throw a guy that's going to go dial it up? I mean, he's going to go dial it up for 4 innings.
Dude, I don't know. And listen, I don't know the mathematicals of this or anything like that. Do you hurt a guy's growth doing that when he could go to the minors and every 5th day he's going to get the ball and get 75, 85 pitches in? Do you hurt him by saying, hey, you're not going every 6 days and you're only throwing 50, 60? I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure that the people inside the stadium here are going through every single mathematical book they can find to try to find an answer. Right now, they deem shutting him down, and that means he's not making an opening day roster to me.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, I think after you miss 4 weeks at this time of spring, it sets you back. Yeah. And especially for a young guy like Painter, it sets him back a little bit. I think he was ready to pitch at 16 when I saw him. I saw him in Georgia at a perfect game tournament at 16. He was ready. He had big league stuff then. So nothing's changed for him, but you got to get him right. But there's other guys. Abrams looked good in spring.
Abrams looks good, yeah.
I don't know about the other guy. I know Mitch has looked okay.
I think Abrams the only other guy that you're considering.
And I sort of heard that from some guys inside the Phillies a little bit. That they don't have as big an upside for a guy like Mitch as they do for a guy like Abel and Painter. But doesn't mean that guy doesn't figure it out, right? So there's some bold predictions for everybody. I think are good ones.
Yeah.
Right. We have a Bryce Harper timeline according from Bryce Harper.
Yeah, which is a shock because the original timeline was after the All-Star break, and this one seems like he's speeding it up a little bit. I guess that's good, but to me that definitely means he's shutting down throwing all year. If you're going to speed it up to where you can bat and not get any pain, but still throwing hurts, you're not throwing the whole year then. You're shutting that down.
Yeah, I think as he should, right? I don't need Bryce Harper throwing this year. There's no need for Bryce Harper to throw this year. He showed how quickly he can adapt to being a DH like he did last year.
Right.
He showed it didn't phase him. It didn't phase his numbers. It didn't phase the long ball. It didn't phase any of his production, period.
No.
So knowing that, I got no problem with Harper DH when he comes back
and
for the rest of the year.
Him being in the dugout and being that rally boy for the guys when Reese has a bad bat or when Schwarber has a bad bat or the giving information. Hey, hey, this guy's pitching this way to me. He has a little bit more time to worry about that instead of getting out to the field. So maybe it does help the locker room in general, him being a DH, because of his knowledge of hitting.
Listen, I don't think it's ever a bad thing to have your leaders around.
Right.
Even though Alec claims that they didn't say anything.
Correct.
That it was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now you guys are lying to us.
You're 100%.
Stop lying.
No one's doing that.
Stop lying to us, Bryce. But no, I think that All-Star break is a good timetable, obviously, for him. And when you're talking about Tommy John, you're talking about, I want Bryce Harper as my starting right fielder in the 2024 season, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to keep, allocating him and that DH spot to him all the time. So
you can't.
I think it's a good timetable. And I do think that this baseball team can play, let's say 7-3 baseball in a 10-game stretch,
yeah.
6-4 baseball in a 10-game stretch, and be able to tread that water, play 600 ball, right? 585 ball.
7-3 in a 10-game stretch. That gets you 100 games, baby. Get you 100 games.
That's why I say that. That's why I'm leaning more to the 6-4 without Harper. But this lineup's dangerous enough. If you get the production from Nicky, if you get the production like you expect to get from Trey, Schwarbs, JT,
Bryce when he's back,
Reese, and even a guy like Bryson Stott, who we didn't
talk about yet. And I think he's a 300 hitter when it's all said and done. Maybe not this year, but I think that kid's going to put it together and compete for some batting titles in his career.
I do too. I think he's got to figure it out. I love the fact that he listened to a veteran like Segura last year. He went to the 2-strike, no step approach.
Correct.
I thought he battled. I thought he worked long counts. I thought it was huge for his baseball team. Maybe we didn't see the hits, right? Like we wanted to from Bryson, but we saw it along at bats. And I love
the contact too.
I'm an old school baseball guy, man. I want you to work at bats. I want you to wear guys out. I want you to run 12, 14 pitch at bats, 10 pitch at bats. I think they're great for your ball club. 100%. And I think they're great when you pass the baton to the next guy that he just saw a lot of pitches. So I do like that about him.
Especially in this lineup where the next guy could be a big bopper, right? We got them all up and down the lineup here.
How does moving from shortstop to second base affect a young player like Bryson?
So that has happened to me in my career. My whole entire career, I played shortstop. Got a little bit older, a little bit fatter, had to move to second base. It's a big difference. It's a huge difference on just the way you set up pre-pitch, just the way that you look at the spin rate of a curveball. You know what I mean? It comes at a different angle. The way the ball comes off the bat comes at a different angle. It's a big adjustment. He seems like he's handled it pretty well, though.
Yeah, and I think, listen, for a young guy, he's a pro already. There's a reason that he stayed with Harper when he first came up.
Yeah.
Right? He's been around Harper forever. They've been boys forever. I like that. When my young guy is up there, he brings a spark to this ball club.
Yeah.
Even if he's not swinging it, it didn't affect his defense last year at all. I don't think it does. I think he's fine. I think he takes steps this year that we need him to take offensively. But I thought he battled through some adversity, some failure in a rookie year. And that's why you want your young guys up. Because I always tell guys aren't going to get better sitting in the minors. You're going to get better by seeing big league pitching, making adjustments to big league pitching. That's how I get better.
Especially nowadays.
And you're around big league players that help you get better too.
Where you learn.
Yeah.
Especially AAU now, you coach it, right? These guys you're being trained and you're being groomed to be a big league player, right? College now, you're seeing big league stuff right now in colleges. If you play a major college, you're seeing 95 plus.
Yeah, you are now.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's throwing 95 plus. So you're ready as soon as you get drafted. You're ready to go. We just saw San Diego had a 16-year-old kid going. Right? That was San Diego last night, the catcher. 16-year-old going and catching a major league game, even in spring training.
Well, so much for this. Where Phillies just put out this tweet right now. Prior to today's game, Phillies had optioned James McArthur to AAA. I don't even know who James. See you, James. That's who he is. They reassigned Mick Abel, Andrew Baker, and the other guy, Griff McGarry, who's the other guy we were talking about. So Abel, McGarry, both reassigned
Makes sense.
to AAA, and rightfully
Makes
so.
sense.
Right?
Yep.
There was one guy that had the ability to come in spring and win a job, and that was Andrew Painter.
Correct. That was it.
Outside of that, there wasn't. And there's only been since like 1992. I think there's only been four teenage guys who started
Pitching?
Yep. Dylan Bundy is the name you probably want to
No
get.
clue, yeah.
Hold on, I gotta go find all these.
For the Orioles, Bundy?
It was Felix Hernandez
Yes.
from Seattle.
Yeah.
It was Greg. Greg knows him. Greg, write him in the chat and I'll throw him up. But there was two other ones that I'm just drawing a blank on right now. But there's some guys. There's so much for those guys being in a 6-man rotation.
Correct.
Because they're not. So let's see what they do. I will show you. Wayne said, I'm not wearing, sorry, 47 brand. I am not wearing.
Come on.
I am wearing a Baseballism Team USA hat. So, sorry, I did not get any 47 gear yet. I expect to, though, because I'm going to go to 47brand.com and get all my gear. Or I'll send down to All Campus in Ocean, New Jersey. John Coyle's the owner. You go in there. I told you. You tell them HUD sent you. You show you're a follower, right? You get a discount. So, I mean, go soak it in. So let me pull up some of the hats for Wayne. You know, Wayne's a Florida guy. What's up, Wayne?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little description here of these hats, guys. This is the first time that 47 is doing custom hats. All right, All Campus is going to be the first company that's going to produce these custom hats for 47. Here's the advantage. They're $40. $40 for a custom Phillies hat. We're doing the Ocean City Boardwalk Pack. That's what we're calling them for. We're going to release 3 different hats every single month for the rest of the year. Here's the 3 that we're releasing next week, Saturday, the 18th at 10 o'clock. We're going to release these hats. We're expecting to have a line outside. So if you want them, come get them. There's only 24 of each size. That's it. They're exclusive. No more are going to be made. 24 of each size. Don't miss out. If you want it, get in line.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Our resident Lakers guy, Ralphie D, he's going to be all over this.
There you go, Ralphie.
Yeah, purple and gold. Look at the purple and yellow. I can see him already. He's already working his way down the whole campus. Look at Ralphie go. So there's some of the hats, the custom hats. They look great. You know, I'm obviously going to get one. John's going to get one.
No doubt.
But listen, this was. We'll talk to the Phillies for a few more minutes. Any of the family out there has got any questions for us? The weather down here is glorious, right? It's a nice breeze going on.
Beautiful.
I wish I was in the sun because I need a tan a little bit. Yeah, it did look like an old A's hat, the green one. Yeah,
correct. Yeah,
really cool stuff.
So, like I said, guys, those hats we're doing. It's called the Ocean City Boardwalk. So every single store on the Ocean City Boardwalk is going to be represented by a hat. That green one is going to be for Bob's Lemonade. The tan one is going to be for Flalingers, and every single major store is going to get a hat this year, guys. So it's going to be fun. They're going to look different. They're going to be a little cool, but like I said, only 24 per size. They're going to go fast.
Yeah, they will. Well, listen, if you're heading into the game today, take out a second mortgage.
Yes.
First off, because
spring training tickets have gone up.
Ain't going up. This is what happens when you want to give guy 10-year deals.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to be paying for it in some way.
Yeah.
And we're paying for it at spring training. You can just sit on the grass for $48.
$50, you're on some grass.
Tell you, I'll leave you a little story, right, before we walk in. And I just want to put this out to the people, right? So we told the one guy, we were set up right out front of the stadium. Great. They were so generous to let us set up here. And I said, listen, I told the one guy, I said, well, you got to start outside to get yourself inside, right? And he goes, I think he told us that was never going to happen.
Never going to happen. His exact words.
He might have been 70 plus.
Yep.
Told us it was never going to happen. So I want you all to remember this when the day comes that we are down the third baseline and we are setting up and we're talking to Phillies players that we promise you the day was going to come. So it will come. But this is awesome.
We're closer and closer every year.
And we're closer and closer to baseball season underway.
Yes, we are.
You smell it?
Love it.
Yeah.
Get the cut grass, the little dirt. You get the little pine tar. It's excellent.
Yes. The World Baseball Classic is awesome.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are all enjoying it. Lars says All Campus is at the Music Pier today as well.
Yes, they are. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Somebody's got to do your job. You know what I mean?
That's my girlfriend.
Yeah,
Thank
somebody's
you,
got
Laura.
to Laura. Somebody's got to do the job for the big fella. Don, we appreciate it. Listen, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We apologize for a little bit of our technical internet difficulties yesterday.
We ironed it out.
But guess what? We got it right.
Yes,
Shake
sir. Yes,
and
sir.
bake. We got it right, and that's all that matters. So awesome stuff. We figured it out.
Yes.
We can go anywhere now. We can go anywhere.
Yeah, we're technology guys now. We're
We're
here.
We're gonna be on location everywhere.
Yes,
We're gonna be on
sir.
location from your front steps.
Yes, sir.
All right, from your front steps. We appreciate everybody watching us. If you haven't, hit the like, hit the subscribe. You should have the boys on Agree Disagree later tonight. I'll probably jump on with them. I'm sure. I'm sure they'll be talking some brackets. I have not watched enough college
we got
basketball yet.
brackets tonight,
I just haven't. I don't do it until this time of year. I'm just so locked into the NFL season,
Right.
the NBA season, that I just haven't got locked into the March Madness yet. But March is upon us. The madness is upon us. Exciting stuff there. So check out the boys on Agree Disagree. Listen, you don't like us. There's 14 live shows on HUD Radio. So you don't like me. You don't like John. There's somebody here you're going to like. I promise you that. That's
Check
my
it out every
guarantee to you. Hit the like, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms because you'll love our social content as well. The best in the business. No notes for John Coyle. I'm Tom Arnone. We appreciate you all listening in. We are brought to you by 47 Brand, and you can go get all your apparel, 47brand.com, all your Phillies, Yankees apparel, any other apparel you would like, you can get that as well. I don't know why that's not clicking. We're just unclicking now. Okay. What's going on? All right, we're back. No, we're not. All right, 47brand.com. So go get all your gear, and you can also, like we just talked about, you can go get it at all campus. You can go get. Where's the cut? Go, Cuz! You can get the Cuz on. He knows about it. Let's see if we get the Cuz over for a minute. I don't know if he's allowed to.
He's allowed.
Get the Cuz over here for a minute. When he's done talking, he's signing autographs. Look at the Cuz. He's the best.
There
dude.
he is.
He's the best. The reason I
Yes,
started
he
this,
is.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't talk to a lot of people about this, but that's a guy I listened to my entire life.
Right.
That's one of the main reasons and why people force me and push me to do sports talk is that man right there. He paved the way. He paved the way to all of us being able to do it. But listen, this team's loaded. I think they're loaded even without Harper. They're able to tread water without Harper is the big key. Can they tread enough water without Bryce Harper? Well, a lot of it comes on the starting staff, health, durability, etc. Walker's been a guy. He's always been able to eat up a lot of innings. He's never had trouble eating up innings, right? And you look at a guy like Aaron Nola. You look at a guy like Aaron Nola, right? Aaron Nola's always been durable. So when you look at a guy like Walker, and you look at a guy like Aaron Nola, they are two guys that have been extremely durable through their career. So the other durable guy has to be a Zach Wheeler.
Hi, how are you,
What's up,
brother?
cuz?
How you
How
doing,
are you?
man? Good to see you.
Good to see you. So this guy paved the way for all of us, man, right here. You guys know who this is. Anthony Gargano, the best, the cuz.
What's up, guys? How are
97.5,
you?
the fanatic.
Good to see you,
Great
bro.
being
Looking
down here.
good, man.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
trying.
said, that's
I'm trying.
nice.
I just got this one before I came down. I had
Sharp.
to.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
like
get the
it.
cutoffs.
Yeah.
So you excited, man?
I can't wait, man. First of all, look at this. Everybody coming to the game. I love game day, and
Nothing
we're
better.
here, and pretty soon, in less than a month, it's going to be game day
Let's
at
go.
Citizens Bank
Let's
Park.
Let's
And
go.
we got to run for October again.
Again.
Yeah.
So we talked about it's so hard before the year, right? Like they talk about it. Well, they win the NL East. Well, they do this. It's a marathon of a season, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know, but
Injuries and everything come about. But I agree with you. You're about to say that they're a favorite, and they're a team that should get there. And look, Turner adds such a different element to them. At the top of the lineup, now all of a sudden Schwarber, all those home runs, all those solo bombs, the Schwarber bombs, you're going to have somebody on base, right?
that's what we were just talking about.
They can now manufacture runs. Like the lineup has so much more balance. When Bryce comes back, it'll be ridiculous. But their lineup, even without Bryce right now, has balance. And I love their pitching.
I do too. I was talking about the durability. Like we don't know Wheeler's durability. He's always had durability issues per se, but Nolan never has.
Right.
Walker never has.
Right.
Ranger got called back a little bit from World Baseball Classic. Obviously
Yeah.
some soreness. That's normal.
Yeah,
Bring
this
him
time
back.
of the year, you're going to have that.
So I think they have the ability to be durable. They got 4 guys or 5 guys out of their pen now that are lights out guys. I mean, was it Strom, the lefty from Boston? What's his name?
Dude, yeah. And by the way, they all throw fire. What Dombrowski's done is he transformed that bullpen. If you remember, I mean, we used to talk about it all the time, Andrew and I, that their arms were mediocre to subpar arms, right?
It was everybody throwing 90. Nobody threw 95.
Exactly. And it was Cole Irvin. It was just a mess of guys who just had no life. Now you got guys just firing, man. Firing. And I love guys. Like in a bullpen, I want you to be able to have a live arm and fire. I'll deal with some walk issues and wildness, but if you can fire, you can overpower, you can get strikeouts. You need strikeouts in late innings, man.
You swing and miss stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you swing and miss stuff, you know.
And they have a lot of guys, man. Like, that pen is got fireball. I love it. I love how they're built.
I do too. I think Dave's done a great job. I love that John. I mean, I've given John grief in the past. I thought he was halfway in for a minute. He wasn't fully in, and I think he got a taste of it last year. Yeah. And he said, "I want more of it. I want more of it." And he gave Dave the keys.
You saw the Bryce thing was great because like John called him up and said, "We got your buddy." And because Turner and him are so close, and the wives are so close, and it's just perfect, man. And you remember that the greatest thing that happened was that run last year, and it just awoke in us, right? As Phillies fans, as baseball fans, it's like we're back to 06 and 07 during that run.
It was a decade. It was a decade where we didn't know what to do. I mean, listen, I know you're out on the baseball field a lot. You're a little guy. You know, I coach travel baseball, so I'm out there. They got 24 weekends this year.
What do you got?
Combat in Cherry Hill.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, what years?
I got a 14U, I have a 12 and a 10. So
that's awesome.
I love it though.
My Massimo plays 10U.
Yes, he played for
Mid-Atlantic show.
Right?
Well, actually, we're at Mid-Atlantic.
Mid-Atlantic show.
Yeah.
Mid-Atlantic show.
Yeah.
With 10?
Yeah, he's 10U.
I'm able to run into it. I got a 10U team too.
Oh, it's awesome,
dude,
man.
And he gave me a shout out the other day on the radio.
Oh, dude, you're awesome, man. You kidding me?
It was the best because I thought he threw the Hail Mary 30 yards.
Yeah.
I'm looking, and then I finally saw a video where he got stepped on his foot.
Right.
And I said, okay, we don't got a noodle. We're good.
We're good.
I started getting worried.
You said
I'm
it.
like, I can't give him $50 million.
No, you said it,
we're
bro.
throwing it 30. We're throwing it 30 yards. Leave you with this. I know you won't get in the game. How good is Joel Embiid?
Oh my God. Dude, how about was that Kobe come to life? It's amazing how he could just impersonate. Like I used to call him an art thief, right? Where he was an ability to just become something else. He's a what do they call it?
Shapeshifter.
Yeah. He's almost like that. It's bizarre because it looked like Kobe on that shot.
It did.
He
talks about it. I mean, his tweet after was Kobe because he knows it.
Exactly.
He knows it. I mean, the guy's the best. He's something special. It's not even a question who the MVP is. I don't really care about the MVP. I want him to get over his own hump.
Yeah.
You know, he needs that for his personal thing. We need that in Philadelphia.
I know.
think this team's different. I want to believe they're different.
Yeah.
But
all about Harden.
We're going to find out.
Everything's about Harden.
It is.
Because you know what Embiid's going to give you what he's going to give you. Like, we know that. And it's about what Harden has to be that second guy that he's got to be able to knock down threes, space the floor, and penetrate. He's got the legs. Remember, he had dead legs last year, and he's in great shape, so hopefully it continues.
Yeah, maybe they let him breathe the last week of the season because after the All-Star break came back, his legs looked like he was 25 again.
Exactly.
So maybe they do.
Brother, great to see you.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations, all your success, man.
Thank you. Well, I'll have you on again. We'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk. Anthony Gargano, 97.5 The Fanatic, the best, man. The best in the business. Thanks, cuz. Johnny Coyle, All Campus. We appreciate you all listening. We told the guys 11:45 we would get the heck out of here. It's 11:50. 11:50. We're out of here. Go Phils. Go Sixers. Fly Eagles. Fly. Somebody. Comcast sell the Flyers. We're out of here.